This is test number 6. I have done some changes to the original circuit. Since it was in the previous test, I noticed that, and the fourth test, I noticed that the DC to DC converter had a little bit of ripple, about 1.6 volts ripple in the DC level. I added a filter that will suppress part of the high frequency ripple that is getting the DC converter, and that is implemented with this coil and in series with a resistor and a condenser. The ripple, I was able to lower it to about 0.8 volts. Other change I have done is to increase the voltage of the DC to DC converter to about 25 volts. Since when the load of the computer start to require current, the voltage gets a little bit low, below the 18 volts or 17 volts. So it is not enough to power the computer. So I just put it a little bit higher. So when the computer requires much of the current, the voltage will be about 20, and still the computer will operate. So let's test with the battery, the DC converter, and the computer. Here I have the computer, doesn't have the battery, so it's just control. It's just it's going to be powered just by the battery and the DC converter. So let's see, this is going to connect the power here to the battery over here. And now we can see the signals. The fan is running. The current provided by the battery is 0.38 amps. Since it's requiring current from the cooling fan and part of the AC converter, and the voltage is about 25.6 volts. The ripple is about 600 to 800 millivolts, and the input voltage is about 13. It oscillates a little bit between 13 and 14 volts. So now let's see. Let's give power to the computer. The voltage, at some point when the current gets about 1.5 amperes in the output, gets low about almost 10.8. At this time the voltage in the battery is 11.0, and the current in the output of the DC to DC converter is about 1.04 amperes. The voltage in the DC is 23. It requires a little bit more current when it enters the windows. So let's see if it's able to handle the current and the load. Well, it went to about 1.28 volts. Well, this time it failed. Let's try it again.